1. People remember random things you say. The first sign you're more attractive than you think is that people remember seemingly insignificant things you've said in casual conversations, things you don't even remember saying. Someone brings up that funny observation you made 3 weeks ago about coffee shop music. A coworker references an opinion you shared about a movie during lunch. A friend quotes something you said that made them laugh. Here's why this matters. People only remember things that make an impact on them. When you're attractive, and I mean attractive in the fullest sense, including your personality, humor, and presence, your words stick with people. I noticed this pattern when a woman I barely knew brought up a comment I'd made months earlier about how grocery store layouts are designed to confuse us. I had completely forgotten saying it, but she remembered it perfectly and even shared it with her friends. That's when I realized, if people are remembering your random thoughts and observations, it means you're making an impression that goes beyond basic politeness. Think about it. You probably remember things said by people who intrigue you, who you find interesting or attractive. The same principle applies to you. When people consistently recall your words, it's because something about you, your delivery, your perspective, your energy, is memorable. 2. Strangers are unusually helpful to you. The second sign is when strangers go out of their way to help you in small but noticeable ways. The barista gives you extra whipped cream without being asked. The cashier always seems to find a way to give you a discount. People offer to help you carry things, hold doors longer than necessary, or give you directions with genuine enthusiasm. This isn't just politeness, it's human nature responding to attractiveness. When people find you appealing, they instinctively want to be helpful, generous, and kind to you. It's subconscious, but it's real. I started noticing this when I realized that servers often spent extra time at my table. Store employees frequently offered help even when I didn't ask, and people on public transportation would often give up seats or make space for me. At first, I thought I was imagining it. But then I paid closer attention and realized this happened consistently across different contexts with different people. That's when I understood. When you have an attractive presence, which includes warmth, approachability, and positive energy, people naturally want to be nice to you. The key insight is that physical attractiveness is just one component of what makes people want to help you. Confidence, kindness, and genuine warmth are equally powerful. When you carry yourself well and treat others with respect, people respond by wanting to make your day a little easier. 3. You get compliments on things you consider flaws. The third sign you're more attractive than you think is when people regularly compliment aspects of yourself that you consider flaws or weaknesses. You think your laugh is too loud, but people always comment on how infectious and joyful it is. You're self-conscious about your freckles, but strangers mention how unique and beautiful they make you look. You think you talk too much, but people tell you how engaging and interesting your conversations are. This disconnect between your self-perception and others' perception is incredibly common among attractive people. We're often most critical of the very qualities that others find most appealing. I used to hate my voice, thought it was too deep and too slow. I'd rush through presentations and avoid speaking up in meetings. Then I started getting feedback that my voice was calming, authoritative, and easy to listen to. What I saw as a flaw, others experienced as a strength. This happens because we're intimately familiar with our own quirks and characteristics. We notice every variation and imperfection, but others experience these same qualities as distinctive, memorable, and attractive features that set us apart from everyone else. 4. People light up when they see you. The fourth sign is one of the most telling. People's faces genuinely light up when you enter a room or when they unexpectedly run into you. Their eyes brighten, they smile more widely, and their whole energy shifts in a positive direction. This isn't about being the most popular person in every room. It's about having the kind of presence that makes people genuinely happy to see you. Their reaction is immediate and authentic. You can see the moment they notice you and their mood lifts. I started recognizing this pattern when I noticed that co-workers would visibly perk up when I walked into the office. Friends would get excited when I showed up to events. Even acquaintances seemed genuinely pleased to run into me at the grocery store. At first, I thought this was just normal politeness. But then I started observing how people reacted to others versus how they reacted to me, and I realized there was a significant difference in the level of enthusiasm and genuine pleasure in their responses. When people light up around you, it's because your presence adds something positive to their experience. Maybe you bring humor, warmth, interesting conversation, or just good energy. Whatever it is, people associate you with feeling better about their day. This is one of the clearest indicators of attractiveness because it's completely unconscious. People can't fake that instant moment of joy when they see someone they genuinely like and find appealing. 5. You receive invitations without asking. The fifth sign you're more attractive than you think is that people regularly invite you to events, activities, and gatherings without you having to hint or ask to be included. Friends invite you to parties you didn't know they were planning. Co-workers ask if you want to join them for lunch or after-work activities. Acquaintances suggest you come along to concerts, trips, or social events. People seem to naturally want to include you in their plans. This happens because attractive people in personality, energy, and presence make experiences better. When someone is planning something fun, they think, "Who would make this more enjoyable?" And your name comes to mind. I realized this was happening to me when I noticed I was being included in plans that I had nothing to do with organizing. Weekend trips, dinner parties, concert outings. People were consistently thinking of me when they were putting together their social activities. This is different from being invited out of obligation or politeness. When people genuinely want your company, the invitations feel enthusiastic and authentic. They're not just including you, they're excited about including you. The key insight is that people invite individuals who add value to their experiences. If you're consistently being included in social plans, it means people see you as someone who makes situations more fun, interesting, or enjoyable. 6. People mirror your energy and mannerisms. The sixth sign is when you notice people unconsciously mirroring your energy, speech patterns, or mannerisms during conversations. They start matching your tone of voice, using similar gestures, or adopting your speaking rhythm. Mirroring is a subconscious behavior that happens when people feel connected to and attracted by someone. It's one of the ways humans build rapport and show that they're engaged with another person. I started noticing this when I realized that during conversations, people would begin speaking at my pace, using similar hand gestures, or even adopting some of my expressions. In group settings, I'd notice others unconsciously matching my energy level. If I was enthusiastic, they became more animated. If I was calm and thoughtful, they'd become more reflective. This mirroring happens because attractive people have a kind of social magnetism that draws others into their orbit. When you have appealing energy or presence, people naturally want to sync up with you. Pay attention to how people behave during conversations with you. Do they start gesturing similarly? Do they match your speaking pace or tone? Do they seem to adopt your level of enthusiasm or calmness? Do they use phrases or expressions you've used? 7. You receive genuine curiosity about your life. The seventh and final sign you're more attractive than you think is that people show genuine curiosity about your life, thoughts, and experiences. They ask follow-up questions about things you've mentioned. They remember details about your interests and check in about things happening in your life. This goes beyond polite small talk. People seem genuinely interested in understanding who you are, what you think, and what you're doing with your life. They ask about your weekend plans, your work projects, your opinions on current events, your travel experiences, or your hobbies. I noticed this pattern when I realized that conversations with me often turned into people asking questions about my perspectives, my experiences, and my plans. They weren't just making conversation, they seemed genuinely curious about how I saw the world and what was happening in my life. If this video helped you see yourself in a new light, subscribe for more content about building genuine confidence and self-awareness. Drop a comment about which of these signs resonated with you most. I want to celebrate the attractiveness you're finally starting to recognize. Remember, the world needs people who know their value and show up authentically. Stop underestimating yourself. Others already see what you're capable of. It's time for you to see it too. You're more attractive than you think. Now start believing it.